Okay, so we're back with a second session of this OSE solo. Hexcrawl. I've made some additions to the map. At the moment, we've got Brinkeep, which is going to be the town where the characters are actually going to start from. We've got Castleside, which is the city, or larger town, which is slightly to the west, and we've got Eschen, which is actually the name of the continent. So that's okay. So we have 5 characters. We've got a first level magic user called Murtoff Vol. We have Shailin Moonsong, the elf. We have Lem Karis, the thief. We have Cam Dusttide, the cleric. And we have Gareth Chael, the fighter. That's our 5 characters. And they are hopefully going to find what's going on in the Plains hex number 1. So we've already pre-rolled the number of layers and the number of features in this thing, and we've got one structure which is on hex number 4 or sub hex number 4, and we've got layers dotted around as well. We also have a layer in sub hex number 4 as well. So as they arrive in Brine Keep, they spend a day kind of resting, getting some equipment, gathering together their rations, all this kind of stuff as well. They start making their way out along the path. It's set about 7 in the morning. They're going a movement rate of 18 miles per day. So we're going to say they're going to move roughly 2 sub-hexes per hour. So I think it gives them like a 7.5 hour kind of marching day. So give or take, half an hour, it's going to be roughly two sub-hexes per hour. So they kind of make their way out these 2 sub-hexes along the path here. As soon as they get to the junction, they kind of deviate off and head towards the hex of the plains. And they start making their way across. So we've got 7, we've got 8, 9, and then we're going to check just a random encounter. So 1 in the morning. So yeah, about 9 o'clock time, we'll kind of check a random encounter, which is going to be about sub-hex number 15. See if there's a random encounter first of all. So let's do that. So that is a 1 in 6 chance. We have a 4, no random encounter. The sub-hexes are roughly the size. When you get about halfway across a hex, so about 2.5 sub-hexes, you can probably start making out features of something that's off in the distance. So by the time they get to this sub-hex here, they can see, hopefully, if it's a structure of some sort of size, that they're kind of where they need to head. So they've been told, obviously, by the rumours and the people in Brine Keep that there's some kind of structure off in the distance. So I think the most important thing we should do now is actually roll to see what structure we've got and see what they can actually see. Okay, so using filling in the blanks, we've got page 12 is the structures. It is a D10 roll to see what we've actually got in that, what type of structure we've got. So we've got a D10 here, and then we'll see what's going on. So we've got a 6, which is a fortification. Okay, that's cool. Right, so according to this, we've got Borderlands hexes, Wilderness hexes have got a certain chance of actually being used for the purpose they're being used for, and Civilization hexes as well. So let's start off with to see if it's actually being used by the people that are actually using it for. So that we'll call this a wilderness hex. So that is a 1 in 2 chance on a d6. We have a 5, so no. Okay, because we've also rolled a lair. That's still kind of fortification we've got first of all. Yep. Okay, fortifications. We are on monuments, dwellings, fortifications. D100. Okay, so first of all, we are going to have a kind of an upper limit of how old this structure is going to be. The background of the rest of the campaign setting kind of roughly goes back 300 years, then kind of 500 years in total. So 300 years kind of some major event that's happened. So we're kind of going around there. We don't want D1000 unless it's something supremely ancient. We kind of then we're talking in kind of like prehistory kind of cosmic horror probably style stuff. So we'll roll the dice and see what we get. We get a 33, which is 10d10 years. Okay, interesting. 20, 21, 27, 37, 44, 51, 52, 61, 65 years ago. Okay, so using my handy dandy notebook, which I've managed to put down. So we've got a 65-year-old structure, and it is going to be for every 100 years of age, subtract 1 from 100 years. Okay, so that's okay. So we're going to say it needs some repair or whatever. 68 means it is a relatively decent shape. What kind of structure is it? So it's going to be built of the following. It is going to be 1d100 again. 08 is an earthen structure. And D100 again. Okay, this is going to be interesting. 39 gives us a hill fort. Okay, so this is a hill fort. Okay, so we're definitely going to see that from the subhexes previously. So this fort's going to be kind of on a little mound of dirt. PCs are going to have a wander around, and the size of the hill fort is determined as it is now. Oh, is it going to be? We've got 97. Encompasses 1d100 times 10,000 square feet. Okay, 37. So that's 37,000 square feet in total. Two terraces if as one terrace if under 90,000 feet. Two terraces, so one terrace. Ramparts would be 1d6 plus 6 feet tall. That's 12 feet tall. Okay. And oh, the entrances is 1d3. That's a 2, so we've got 2 entrances. Okie dokie. So that gives us a rough estimate of what this hill fort is going to be. Right. So that's that. So while we're doing that, let's have a look to see if the creatures that are actually inhabiting this hex are also going to be in the fort, or they're going to be somewhere different. They're going to be kind of within that mile and a half, or 1.2 miles, or whatever it is, of range. So we have got here fields and grasslands is a 1d8. We have a 6. 6 is humanoid, okay, which is table G. Table G here is a 1d12. We've got a 12. Okay, so we've got humanoid. Okay, we've got a troll apparently living in this keep. That sounds pretty makes sense. So rather than it be a lair outside the hill fort, it's going to be a hill fort. There's going to be a troll in it. We might have other random encounters as well. Maybe we should then start thinking about what this is going to look like, and where this troll is going to be. So let's go and do that. Okay, so we have got here a SketchUp I've done of a hill fort. Something I'd probably do, something in a regular game. So this will give you some idea of what's going on with it. We have the BX monsters, which is going to give us our troll stats, obviously. Some people wondering why I'm using BX rather than the OSE book. I just like these little books for knowing that all this is monsters without having to skip through 1,000 different pages. So I tend to use these little ones for grabbing magic or whatever, especially when I'm converting stuff over. It's just easier to kind of like, nope, okay, monsters, right, get the brown one out, that's fine. So, okay, so let's have a look. We have Lizard Man, Neanderthals, Ogres, Radagasa, Salamanders, and should be on the next page. Trolls. Okay, so according to this, we've got a number appearing of 1d8 or 1d8. So this is technically their lair, so it's going to be 1d8. So let's get a d8 out. So actually move these sheets out of the way so I can actually figure out what's going on. Okay, so right under the thing. There are 3 trolls in this area. Okay, so 12 times 3. Okay. So first things first is it says here that they are 8 feet tall. They consume the flesh of other humanoids. They dwell underground in barren wildernesses, in ruined homes, and fall victims. So this looks like this is a situation where they've decided to make up their residence in these kind of ruin areas, which have got the buildings there. So what we're going to do is our thief is going to make his way, kind of like tell everybody, okay, right, see the fort up in the distance. You can see kind of all these um, wooden posts and stuff sticking out the ground and the spikes and all that kind of stuff. So the thief will kind of just tell everyone to hold back. He'll slowly make his way to the fort. He will attempt a climb up the side of the fort, which is 12 meters tall. 12 feet tall, because we've already decided what the rampart size is by rolling it last time. So we are going to give him a chance to climb it, which is 87%. That's climb sheet surfaces. So we're going to say, it's likely this is going to happen. So 15. Okay. So no problem at all. So he climbs up this wall. We'll move this over a little bit so we can see what's going on. So we climb up this wall here. Kind of makes his way across this area. Okay, and what we're going to say is as well is there's 3 trolls. We're going to give it roughly like a 50% chance. So we're going to have 20% base chance that they can see something has been kind of living here. So there's either like, animal flesh kind of spread all over the place, or just general nonsense and rubbish kind of spread around. And then for the additional 3, we'll give an extra 10%. So there's a 50% chance they're going to see something. So 11. Okay, so yeah, that would have been 11. So yes. So as he climbs up onto this wall, he kind of gazes out onto these kind of like fallen um, fort. Sees kind of bits of horses and stuff kind of spread around the area, and kind of, oh, this doesn't look good. So what we're going to do is we will have a rough 1 in 6 chance of kind of like some of these areas. So nope, 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 nope. Okay, so doesn't appear. Kind of just giving the kind of just some of these kind of encounter areas around the map. None of these 3 trolls appear to be outside. So they probably are in one of these little buildings here. One of these buildings here. Or it may be even there's like some kind of tunnel or something done underneath it. So our thief moves his way across to the top of this wall. Again, looks down, sees kind of like the discarded horse flesh and stuff kind of spread all over the place. Maybe even kind of the bones of a few human bodies or humanoid bodies. And probably at that point in time just kind of goes, yeah, maybe this is not the greatest place we could go to. So maybe we'll kind of come back later. And then basically turn around and make his way back to the party and just go, yep, it looks dangerous. There's something living in there for definite. I can see it spread around. I don't know what it is, but maybe this is not a good idea. So I think for their own safety, they may well return here when they've actually got a bit of a few levels under their belts. But at this current point in time, being first level, this is something they probably don't want to deal with. So we will keep a note of this location, and then we'll go and see what's going on next. So what I wanted to do next is because this has got a road coming from the north and south of this fort, I'm going to check on the fill in the blanks book to see how far this road goes and see what they can follow, and maybe it leads to another location. So let's go and grab fill in the blanks and see what happens next. Okay, so checking on fill in the blanks, which you can't see because of the glare. We've got roads here. So 1D100 gives us what type of road it's going to be. So once again, we'll get onto the D100s. 21 gives us a dirt road. Does not got a bonus to movement, which makes sense because um, nobody's kind of told them to use the road to go to the fort. So that makes sense. So we've got here 1D6 is an unusual aspect to the road, which there isn't on a 1 to 2. On a 3 to 4, it can On a 5 to 6, there's a single randomly determined location along the road. Okay. 4. Unique construction, built in an unusual manner. Elevated, sunken, covered, hidden, goes underground for a portion or other. So, okay, other. All right, okay, that's interesting. Right, so there's a road that goes dirt road, other oddity to it. So the road starts and stops this hex on a roll 1 to 2 into 6. Otherwise, it's assumed the road passes through the hex. So let's say right. So it sort of stops in this hex. Okay. So we're going to say maybe this is going to be somewhere not quite at the end of the hex. We're going to have obviously a little bit of passageway at the bottom, kind of coming down from the south as well. The road leads to roll twice each end. Okay. So 1d100. 49 gives us another road. 48 gives us another road. Okay. There's wilderness chance, so that it doesn't look like there's going to be any what's going on there. And then if the road connects to settlements, nope, 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 nope. Okay, and then that seems to be pretty decent. Determine length of the road will roll either once the road terminates which shows in hex, or twice the road's passing through the hex. So that's give us a 1d100 roll to see how long the actual road is itself. It's 0.9. The road ends in the chosen hex. Okay, cool. Right, so it looks then what we've got here is a track that basically goes north to south through this through the fort, leads to another road, and then kind of like which goes a different direction. So let's grab our overland map. So overland map here, we have a road here that goes roughly north to south for a little while. Each end terminates in a different road. So let's roll on that road again to see where those roads go. So, 1d100. 60 gives us a wood. Oh no, sorry, that's a type of road. Sorry, so a wooden road, a plank road. Oh no, sorry, my mistake. D10. Some kind of benign magical enchantment to it. And then it is going to be 1d100 in length. 0.6. And then the bottom one is going to be 80. 5d 20 miles long. Okay, so top road is a wooden road. We'll see the direction it goes. 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So kind of that direction. So we're going to say there's a road that goes that way. This is wooden. It terminates inside the hex, so maybe it would, in the past it might have linked up to the scrub area, but it's kind of been destroyed since then. And then the other road is 5d 20 miles. So 15, 16, 12, 19, and 6. Okay. Okay, quick look at the calculator on that one. It's 68 miles this road is going to go. We'll have a look, we'll have a think. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. It's going to be roughly in this direction. So 6 mile hex, that's 10 hexes. 11 hexes. So let's say it is going to go all the way down through here, scoots around this direction, goes through the marsh, possibly a bridge, goes through the hills, goes through the hills. Let's say carries on going down the hill through the hills, and just basically goes off in this direction. Okay, so then we've now got some ideas that there might be something along this road in hex number 5 and hex number 16. We might have a bridge on the marsh for the river as well that's coming down from the mountains. But this is going to be this kind of road. So this road is going to be a D100, 22. So this is just a dirt track as well. So this wooden track is the only one that's going to make a difference. But that's going to kind of peter out. And this is going to be the another road. So our adventurers are going to obviously be in this plain hex. They're going to kind of see the path the road's going to come up here. They're going to decide, right, which way we're going to go. This obviously road leads to somewhere. North or south. So 50-50 chance, 1 to 3, they go north, 5 to 6, 4 to 6, they go south. They go south. So they circumvent the fort by by a little while. They go another maybe mile or 2 miles or so, and kind of like probably hit this dirt track. So once they hit this dirt track, they continue down this path. We're going to have, so that's going to be another 2 hours or so by the time I've done that. So we're looking at 12 a.m. now. Random encounters are after kind of like once per day, twice per day. So let's have a quick look on that and see what the random encounter chance is for planes. Okay, so you check another random encounter once they either the evening or the hex. They cross the hex border basically, so it goes next. So that's 2 at 12 in the 12 in the afternoon. So kind of 3, 4, 5, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. they're going to kind of make their way just as they kind of get to the edge of the marsh, so they can kind of just see off in the distance there is the marshland there. Probably the ground around them is going to start getting boggy and start looking a little bit more softer than they kind of realised. So they are going to set up camp for the night, kind of overlooking the marsh. The trail is still ahead of them, so we're going to give a 1 in 6 chance for an encounter. No encounter that evening, so they camp overnight. Day 2, they pack all the gear up. They start making their move into the marsh hex and start to look around there. So that's we are now day 2. Okay, this is going to give us, this is all the information we've got for day 1, our trolls and our dirt road and whatever. And then this is going to be our day 2. So what we'll do next is we'll draw up a hex for the marsh, and we'll go back again to fill in the blanks and see how many layers and other structures we've got during this marsh, and then we'll come back and see what's going on there. So back in a minute. Okay, so a couple of things I noticed when I was doing the mini hex maps was, first of all, that road that I put in was not the road in total. That was a connection to a road. So we actually, technically speaking, have got a road that goes opposite direction as well. So at some point we can probably determine where that is going to go. We are crossing a hex point here at literally above a lair. We've got our road through here for the swampland. But what I thought is I also miscalculated the amount of time it actually took to get to the border. And instead of it being like 5, 6 p.m., it should be around 2 to 3 p.m. So what I've done now is they camp as the kind of the ground starts getting squashy and stuff like that. They can see the trail going off in the distance, and everything continues as normal. So we had no encounter as we kind of were waiting overnight and kind of recamping. But because this layer is so close, I thought what we'll do is we will roll to see on the encounter table if there's anything there that they might see in the nighttime. So if we are kind of like, maybe if they're orcs or other humanoids, they might see campfires or even kind of like lights in buildings or whatever. So we'll check to see what that is on the encounter tables. So using the clear grasslands cable, we've got 1 to 8 for what we are going to get. So 5. So we have got a human encounter table. So we are now got a D12. A 1. We have bandits. Okay, so that would mean then, so we have got a bandit campfire here. So maybe instead of venturing out across the marshland, the characters might kind of like, put their campfire down for that night, look across to the kind of the south and kind of see another campfire from the distance and think, okay, is it worth going to see who they are, or are we going to carry on? So let's give a 50-50 chance to decide. So on the D6, we're going to do 1 to 3 is going to be the carry on. 4 to 6, they're going to go and investigate and see what the bandits are. It's a 1. So they kind of make a note. There's something over there in that distance. There's a camp there. And again, theoretically, that's a lair. So that's probably got some kind of structure or kind of at least a permanent camp of some sort. But instead of doing that, they next morning they break the camp down, pick up all their bits, and they head off into this area. So we've got to first of all generate the layers and structures in this area, and that will give us some kind of thing they might spot off in the distance. Remember, you can see probably up to 2 subhexes away. So if we get any kind of structures or whatever in kind of like the top area of this thing, we're going to possibly head off in that direction and actually venture into the marsh rather than actually just kind of following this trail, which theoretically is a decent trail. So let's grab fill in the blanks and go from there. Okay, so we have got 1d6 features and 1d6 layers. So layers first of all, 4 layers. Make a note, just so I remember, and 5 features. Okay. So let's make our layers first. So I'm going to use Roll20 to make a D31 kind of roller, because obviously it's 31 mini hexes. So layer number 1 is going to be in number 5, which is there, which is there. Layer number 2 is number 3. Layer number 3 is number 2. Wow, crikey. Okay, we are getting really on this top edge of this thing. And layer number 4 is 26, which is 25, 26. That's just on the river itself. Okay. And then features, we've got 5 features. So we'll put feature number 1 in 26 as well. Okay. So we might have a similar situation we had last time where the feature is actually is part of the layer. Feature number 2, 7. 6, 7. Feature number 3 is 6. Feature number 4 is 24. And last feature is feature number 5. That's 1. Okay. So, I think what we should do first of all is determine what is in layer number 2 and layer number 5, because obviously they're nearest to the road, and then structures in 1 and 6, and possibly number 7 as well. So let's see what's going on with that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so back to the random encounter table. D8 on this gives us a 4, which gives us a flyer on subtable number 1. So that's that one, and D12, 9. So this is going to be robber flies. Okay, and then the layer in number 5. Oh, wrong way. Sorry, D8 first. A 5 gives us human, and a 6 gives us high level cleric. Interesting. Okay, right. Okay, and then structure wise, we are going to have a D20 for a magic structure in this one. A 5 gives us a structure in here. Okay, and as we're doing this pretty simply, 4 is a geological feature. And then where was our last one? Our last one is over here. So let's go and have a look at that. That is a 20. That's magic as well. And then, oh, we've got one more, haven't we? 21, 24. 18 is a settlement. Okay. Right. So I think what we're going to do is we will figure out what kind of the cleric layer looks like and the robberfly layer. And then people, our heroes, will kind of stride into the marsh next day. Now, because this is a track, they don't get the 50% bonus of movement rate. They also don't lose the 33% reduction in movement rate because of the uh, um, marsh itself. So 1 in 6 chance for an encounter. Nope, 2. Okay, so 2 mini hexes in, we're going to kind of get. So after an hour, we're going to kind of get to here. They are going to come to the another hour, so they're going to come to the bridge. Now, bridges, we've got a 1 in 6 chance there's going to be a bridge here. There is not a bridge. So they come to the river, the trail kind of peters out at the edge of the river, and they can see across the side that it continues onwards. So now they've got to decide whether or not they're going to cross the bridge or whether or not they're going to double back and kind of head back out into the main hex they just come from, the plain hex. So 1 to 3, they're going to cross the river. 4 to 6, they're going to head back. They're going to head back. Okay, so they come to the river. They see it's kind of rough, rocks and stuff, and all this kind of stuff. Now, they could head back up the trail, which seems to be the best idea because, you know, it's marshy, it's swampy. They're really realizing they're going to stand this stuff. So they're going to head back up the trail. But by the time they get to here, they're going to see what this structure is. So let's see what this structure is, just as a matter of interest, and see if there's anything of interest there that might draw them off in that direction. So they turn on the spot. They kind of start looking around. They kind of look to the left, look to the right, and they kind of glance over to hex number 6 and they go, okay, there's definitely something over there. We've got barriers, so barriers aren't going to show up. So they kind of squeak. You know, there's nothing probably substantially large over there that's going to be kind of direct their attention. So instead, they kind of turn on the heels. They head back into hex number the plains hex. So it takes another 3 hours. So we look 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So about midday, they get back to the kind of their original camping site. And we are going to roll a random encounter in that thing because I passed into a new hex. Nope, 5, no random encounter. So yeah, so they carry on up the original hex for another few hours or so. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. They come to the edge here. 17, 18. So if we say this time around, they camp at the edge of this hex in hex number 2. And we can next see where they roll next and see if after they make camp that day, where this road continues on to, and if it kind of gives us another location to go. So let's do that and see what's going on next. Okay, so checking on fill in the blanks. 1d100 means that this is going to run into up this trail to another location. So 1d100, and we will go 25. 25 means it's going to lead to a resource. So at some point along this trail, we're going to come to a resource. And for the sake of, because obviously we don't really know, we knew how kind of long this road was going to be at one point, but we kind of go off the actual main map itself. So what we're going to do is let's kind of roll like three, like a maybe a 1d6. I suppose that goes across the entire hexen, and see how many subhexes it travels into the Scrubland hex. 5 subs, right? And that's going to be where the resource is. So at the end of the day, we're kind of going to get our resource kind of things probably around hex 5, hex 2, somewhere in there, and then we'll kind of mark that off, and we'll see what goes on there. So they're going to turn the hills, and then kind of next day they are ready to kind of search off and follow the road to the northwest, and let's prep that one and see what we can find in that one. Okay, so one thing we forgot to do was, if they're camping overnight, check for a nighttime encounter. It's a 6, no encounter. So we've got that sorted first of all. So no encounter overnight. They camp overnight again. Day rolls around. So let's have a look at this. So we've got a entry point here for where the road comes in. We're going to say it's heading obviously off to the northwest time. Let's roll 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6. What general direction it's going to be heading down? So that is a 6. So it's going to be going that direction. So we are going to bend this road over 5 hexes. So we're going to say somewhere here, this road is going to kind of sketch all the way through these kind of hexes, make its way up and round, and it's going to end up with a resource at the end of that road. Okay. So before we do that, we are going to roll some layers and some structures. So layers, we have 1 layer, and structures, we have 2 structures, or 2 features, sorry. So layer number 1 is going to be on, checking my Roll20 roller, text number 8, which is there, which is quite far away, obviously. And then feature number 1 is going to be on subhex 18, which is there. So we're going to probably see that as we pass up the road. And then feature number 2 is subhex 31, which is there. Okay, so next morning, they set off. That's within 2 subhexes, and this is within 2 subhexes. So they're going to see both of these virtually from the thing if they are of substantial size. So first things first, roll 1d20. A 2 gives us a geological. So this is going to be geological. Okay, and 1d20 for this one is going to be an 8. This one is actually a structure. Okay, so we can check geological next time, unless it's, I suppose it could be raised there, but you're probably not going to see it too much. Geological features, let's just try that while we're here. It's some caves. Okay, so that is caves. Okay, so you probably don't like to see those from the road. If we haven't got any kind of roadway or hills or anything like that, it's all flat, so the caves are probably going to be sunk into the ground. So they're not going to be something they're going to immediately kind of divert to. As for the structure, once we get to the structure page, structure 1d10, it's an 8. Infrastructure, now, is that going to be another road? Monuments, dwellings, fortifications, water, oh, hello, canals, ponds, infrastructure. Okay. Interesting. Okay. 1d100. Where's my other down there? 1d100. 13. That's a farm. Okay, so apparently there is a farm there. Okay, so our heroes go up the starting. They make your way into the scrubland. Glancing around them as they go, they kind of look across. They see this farm, or at least something, some buildings or something off to the northeast. So once again, we'll do a 1d6 chance. So 1 to 3, they're going to continue following the road, which obviously they've been doing for the last 2 days. Or 4 to 6, they're going to head towards the structure. It's a 4. Okay, so they divert. So this time they start their way into the scrubs. They kind of look around. So we're about 30 minutes in or so. Then we've got 1, 2, another hour. So it's 7 a.m. They come across the farm. Okay. So I think what we'll do there is we will stop this one for now. We will check out the farm, see if there's anything inside, see if there's actually been any people at the beginning of the next session, and we'll come back and hopefully explore a little more. Hopefully we'll get a few more encounters, and hopefully our heroes will probably press on and decide to investigate a little bit more. I'm going back to the hex with the swampland with the clerics. There is a little bit in here that is for high level encounters. Sorry, high level clerics to roll for their um, alignment. So while we are at it, let's just check. What we paid 16, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. Patrols and alignment. 1d6. They are lawful alignment. Okay. So that's fine. Okay, so I have some gods and stuff that I've created for this campaign setting. I will go through my list of gods and see what that is going to be. I strongly thought it might be, chaotic, gods of slimes or gods of insects or something like that. But lawful, why are they there? Who knows? Maybe next time they might actually get a look in. But at the moment, our heroes are 2 hexes away investigating a farm. So there you go. So thanks very much for hopefully listening to this. If you got this far, thank you very much. And hopefully I will see you on another video of this very, very soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.